Hey everyone, this is Laffy, and today I wanted to go over the upcoming Spells in Spades patch that's coming on July 20th for the North American, EU, and South American Lost Ark. I wanted to get people a little bit more familiar with exactly what's to come, and hopefully provide a little bit more information about certain questions that you might have about the patch or about certain details within the patch. So I have broken down everything, so if you are wondering about any specific thing, you can skip to that chapter. So let's get into it. So obviously, the queen of the hour for this patch is the Arcana, which has been renamed to Arcanist for the Western version of Lost Ark. She is going to be joining the Sorceress and the Bard in the lineup of our mages on the Western version. She is actually one of the OG classes that Lost Ark originally came out with back in 2018 in Korea, but for us, she is a new class and she's quite exciting, and I think people are kind of starved for mage content. Well, some of us are, maybe some aren't, but now the Western Lost Ark website, so playlostark.com, actually has a very nice and insightful overview of the class. So you can find it on this page. It will be linked in the description of this video. It's called Lost Ark Academy Arcanist, where there is a very in-depth detailed overview of the class. It goes over the card system and how it works, the class engravings that come with the class, the ultimates, normal skills, stacking skills, and ruin skills. So to kind of give you a very short overview, the stacking skills, you stack these stacks on the target that you're attacking, and then the ruin skills will eat up those stacks and do extra damage and inflict a lot of stagger. It goes over the awakening skills as well, and kind of a little bit more details looking ahead as to how you may approach leveling up a Arcana. In my opinion, it is a little bit more on the heavy side in terms of mechanical stuff, compared to something, say, like a Destroyer or a Berserker. You do need to keep track of your stacks, you need to keep track of your cards, you need to have your cards memorized, but don't let that deter you from trying the class. It is a very fun class. If you like playing something that feels like a piano class, if you like being extremely mobile, this class is definitely for you. Arcana is essentially a mid-range mage class, so it's not exactly as close as melee as you would see a scrapper or a a striker, but it's also not quite as long range as a sorceress can allow herself to be. It's kind of in between the two. It's a little bit closer to the boss, but it makes up for it by a lot of skills that give it very good mobility windows. So it's not like sorceress in a way where you have this big blink and you can use it several times. It has a lot of skills that move it around, and you can use that to kind of shift around the boss and make sure that you're not getting hit by anything. It is a pretty squishy class. It is a mage at the end of the day, so you're going to have to utilize your shifty abilities in order to kind of sidestep everything that you have to, but it is a really good mobile class, and it has low super armor, so you will have to utilize your skills to the best of your ability in order to stay out of the fire. And for those that are worried about the fashion, any kind of costume within the game that you already have that is not specific to sorceress or bard, you can apply retroactively to the class. So for example, if you have some of the Neria outfits that we just recently had on Lost Ark, in the Western version, you can apply that retroactively to Arcana. You can just put it in your roster storage and you can take it out on your newly made and created Arcana. Now, what else do we see on this page is, of course, the leveling up and looking ahead piece, which made a lot of people excited. Of course, we are getting the Punika Power Pass, and it immediately advances an alternate character to the end of the Punika storyline, which is item level 1302. To go along with it, there is an express event as well that can only be applied to a character with an item level of 1302 or higher, and it will kind of hold your hand and progress you over to 1370. So the event will actually be quite similar to the one that we recently had that applied in tier 2 when the Glavier came out. So you will have this little icon here, and it will essentially hold your hand, and you will reach these certain milestones at certain eye levels. So as you can see here, this one starts off at 1302 and you get all these rewards. Now, I can't guarantee that we're going to get the same rewards. This is the Russian Arcasia Express right now event that's going on currently for the artist release on Russia, but it will look something similarly to this. Essentially, you have these eye level milestones, and as you reach those milestones, you will get the rewards at the bottom. As you progress through, you get more and more rewards, and then as you finish off at, well, in our case would be 1370, so right here, you will get the 100% completion chest that has a lot of stuff. One piece of advice that I have for players who are not looking to boost in Arcana is to make the class that you want to boost now, so it starts stacking rest. You can create a class already and just go into Trixion, choose the class that you want. So for example, for myself, I'm going to be making yet another bard with this power pass. I'm not going to be making an Arcanist. I will be making another bard. So I've had this bard made for a while now. So all I did is that I created the appearance that I wanted, went into Trixion, picked that I wanted to have a bard, and then that's it. I just left her in Rethramis, just sitting there stacking rest. So on July 20th, when we get this power pass and I apply the power pass to my bard, once I get to tier 3, I will get way more rewards from Chaos Dungeons and from Guardian Raids than I otherwise would have. So it's a good idea, if you are not planning to make an Arcana, to actually make your class now and then just wait until July 20th so that you get way more rewards than you otherwise would have. Now, a big point of conversation in the community ever since the announcement of this patch has been the Express event itself. Punika Power Pass is great, fantastic. We get a character for free to Punika, great. But the Power Pass itself goes along with the Express event, and the Express event only gets you to 1370. And for a lot of people, that is an only. So essentially, that was a pretty big point of discussion in my stream yesterday, and I do have to agree that it feels a little bit low, considering that we have 2 Legion raids out already, and on July 20th, when we do get this event, we're gonna have a Hellmode as well. So, I mean, the most difficult content in the game right now is Vicus Hard, which is 1460. Comparing 1370 to 1460 is, it's a lot. So I want to preface this by saying I am grateful. I am really glad that we are getting something. At the end of the day, they don't have to give us free stuff, but considering that our region in the Western region specifically is meant to catch up to Korea as fast as possible within reason, I think 1370 is a little bit low. I think ideally it would have been better to be 1415. I think 1415 would have been good because it would have actually been a great entry-level opportunity for people to kind of do Valtan normal. Quality of life updates like this are a really important piece for the perception of the game for new players. There has been a lot of times when I tried to talk my friends into trying this game out, but I essentially had to break it to them in a way that they would have to go through tier 1, they would have to go through tier 2, and then they would have to gear up in tier 3 before they can even start trying the Legion raids. And I think that the Express event being to 1415 would have been much better for us. I think it would have been a really fun experience for new players to be able to actually jump into the easiest Legion raid content and actually start doing it right away. I think we can all agree that true experience of Lost Ark doesn't start until Legion raids. So as much as, yeah, it would be a little bit of a disaster if a lot of new players just got access to Valtan normal, they would not be having they would be having a pretty rough time in there. But I think that would be really important for them because it would actually give them a challenge. At 1370, they've got nothing to do except for Yoho, and that's not really much of a challenge, to be honest. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing fun at 1370 except for just honing and waiting until you can get to the actual content where the game actually opens up and shows its true colors, its true beautiful colors to you. And I think it would have been much better to allow people to get to 1415 and be able to do Valtan normal and at least try it out and see how you feel about it, versus kind of getting them to the point where it's like, well, you're in end game, but not really. The next massive highlight that a lot of people have been waiting for, myself included, and scared of at the same time, is Valtan Inferno. And Inferno is what Hellmodes are referred to. So for our Western version of the game, it's just been renamed to Inferno. So it's the hardest version of the existing raid for Valtan, specifically for us. That's the only one that we're getting so far. It is completely equalized, and the rewards for it are all purely cosmetic and purely for flair and for showing off and for flexing. So what do I mean when I say it's equalized? So when you open up the menu for Valtan and you click on Hellmode, which is right on the right side over here, the entry level for it is 1445, but that doesn't matter. Your actual gear does not matter. Nothing that your character actually has skill points, gear, engravings, gems. None of that matters in here. So you click down here on to the Book of Coordination, and it opens up the Book of Coordination that we've seen in PvP so far, except a lot of these items and pieces have been disabled because in PvP you can't use a lot of these things. So essentially you open up your skills. So you've got your stats here, so you can put your stats however you want. You can set your build, and you get 404 skill points up here, so you can make any build that you want with 404 skill points. I don't have 404 skill points on Russia. This is completely equalized, so the game is giving that to me. And then over here you open up the gems, and you put in level 8 gems that you would like to use on the fight. So you can pick any one of them. You don't need to reroll anything, doesn't cost any silver. And down here you can use any engravings that you would like as well. Whatever you want to build your character as, you can go ahead. So essentially every single aspect of your character is completely equalized in this mode, just to make it as skill-based as possible. The only word of warning that I have for people who are going to be attempting Hellmode is that the only thing that's not equalized in Hellmode, or Inferno as it is called for the Western version, is the battle items. So you're going to have to bring your own battle items. You're going to have to bring those fat potions. So for all of you El Cheapos on that have been saving all of your potions and have been saving your battle items, your time to shine is now, because surely you've been saving it for Inferno. Essentially, your rewards are purely cosmetic. As I've mentioned, you get a title that is golden, and it has a Valtan looking icon next to it with little horns, so people will know that you've cleared Hellmode, and they will know that you're definitely a skilled player. And you also get a Valtan statue that you can put in your stronghold as well to flex your achievement, and that's basically it. So now that we've talked about the difficult, hardcore content, let's look at a little bit more of like a casual approach to the game and see what's coming for in terms of horizontal and event stuff, and definitely cosmetics. So we are getting swimsuits in this, and I am so happy because they're previewed right here. So Water Pop Arena is what the event, the actual summer event, is called. It's a little island that you can go to and shoot people with water guns, and there's surely going to be a vendor there that can give us some mats there for that as well. So we're getting a better summer event that's not just standing around in quests for several minutes. This event comes with a lot of different things, not just costumes. So I actually have a page from the Korean website, the Korean region rather, that shows the event back when they got it. So there's a trailer up here, and this is what their event page looked like back in the day. This was a while ago, back in 2021, when they got this event. So we're just getting it now, so I'll just quickly go over everything that we're getting, because it's not just costumes. I am basically, just a disclaimer, I'm basically assuming that we're getting all of this, because we are getting these swimsuits because they are previewed on this page on the main Lost Ark North American website, and we are getting the event that came along with it. Essentially, to start off, we're getting the skins. They are not class specific, they are archetype specific, so all the warriors will look the same. It doesn't matter if you're a paladin or a berserker or whatever, they all look the same on you. These costumes are dyeable as well, and they are separate pieces. So the top is separate from the bottom, so if you want to wear this beautiful bathrobe together with your gear pants, you absolutely can. This is not just a one-piece set. You can actually mix and match them as much as you want, and you can dye them. At the very least, the female ones, I vividly remember being able to dye them. This is what the warrior one looks like. The fighter, of course, is the striker for us here, looks very similar. These are a little bit of an older version of the costumes, so there's not too much variation going between them. These ones are for the female fighters, so scrappers, battle masters, or Soulfists, and all of that. So like I said, these are all dyeable here as far as I remember. This is what the hunter one looks like. So once again, they're all pretty similar to each other, just differentiating between male and female, but that's about it. The beauty of this outfit, to me personally, is that some classes currently out in NA have gear pieces that look like lingerie, and you can pair a top of this outfit and dye it black to make it look like a complete lingerie set. And I know a lot of people have wanted that. You can channel your inner zeals now and run around in full lingerie, because, well, I mean, I'm definitely going to be doing that, so there's no shame in that. So moving on, we are also getting weapon skins with this event. Also, don't look at the prices, because Korean conversion for royal crystals is very different for us, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. You don't need to spend $70 to get a weapon skin and an inflatable balloon. So this is Gun Lancer right here. You get your gun lance, and your shield is a surfboard. This is the paladin here. This is the destroyer, of course. Congratulations, all the destroyer mains. Your Mokoko outfit is going to be complete with a inflatable hammer, and then this is the berserker sword down here. For the fighters, we've got this is for strikers, so they just have these donuts around their wrists. This is the war dancer one. The donuts as well look exactly the same as striker. Scrapper, congratulations to all the scrapper mains that are annoyed by how large your weapons are. This is essentially a weapon skin that's just a bracelet, so it looks just like a regular bracelet would on a character. It's very, very tiny. It's legitimately just like a tiny little bracelet around your wrist, and there's nothing else to it. So if you just wanted to wear your glow on a scrapper and nothing else, you're gonna get that with this, and you get a little squid alongside of it as well. This is the soul fist, so you'll just have the little inflatable ducky floating next to you, and this is of course the glaivier, with the blue stance weapon being the big squid and the red stance being the little crab. This is the hunter one, so this is the deadeye, of course, just very colorful, not too much going on there, and it looks the same for Gunslinger as well, so they are identical weapon skins for the Deadeye and Gunslinger, so all 4 of you Deadeyes and the rest of you Gunslingers. The artillerist weapon is massive and honestly looks really cool, probably one of my favorites. This is the sharpshooter one here, and the scatter one, which unfortunately we're not getting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the Magician one is a little bit of a problem because back when this event came out, Sorceress didn't actually exist. It's actually one of the newer classes in Korea. It came out right before Artist. So I don't know what they're going to do for Sorceress. There is a pretty good chance that Sorceress is not actually going to get a weapon skin this event. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to include one from a more recent event or something, but this one up here is actually the preview of a Summoner weapon. So this says Summoner up here. This doesn't preview any Sorc weapons, so I don't know what they're going to do. And we don't have Summoner yet, so we're not getting this either. So really the only 2 weapon skins that I can preview for you right now is the Arcana one right here, which she just has as a bracelet on one of her hands. I believe it's on her right hand actually. And the Bard Harp, of course, that looks wonderful. I'm really excited for it personally. And of course, last but not least, the Assassin. This is the blade one up here. So you've got your 2 little blades and your 3rd blade that you carry on your back when you use a surge. This is the Shadow Hunter one, so the handle is right here. So you kind of hold 2 very long fans, I think? Question mark? It's a little strange. And then the Reaper one, of course, is another one that we're not going to see in our version. But if we did have Reaper, I'm sorry, Grenton, it would look like this. She would just have a little flower and stab you with the flower. So beyond the outfits, we also get other stuff. So for example, this event had included the musical events. So it's when you're playing any of your songs, like when you go to Trixiana, you're playing Song of Escape. So warriors play their big horn, and these are the weapon skins for them, or not the weapon skins, but the skins for them. I guess the musical skins. This is the fighter lute. This is the hunter guitar, of course, the magician. I don't know what to call this. I don't know what this instrument is called. And the assassin lute as well. And then this event also came with mounts that have several variations. It's just a skittering little crab that you're luring constantly with a very tiny Mokoko here. So you're constantly fishing your little bug to go forward. So it's a really cute mount. Personally, I really like it. And we also get pets as well. So you get a little starfish pet. I'm not sure, once again, as I mentioned before, if we're actually getting this, but this is a pretty cool pet. I think just the default Patrick Star, of course, is my favorite. But these look really fun. And of course, we are getting a login screen as well that looks something like this. And I can actually show you what it looks like in game because I have it on Russia for a very specific reason. So this is what the login screen actually looks like in game. You have specific music that comes with it. And you have the fireworks in the background, and my favorite part, and the specific reason why I've been using it, is because of this little guy right here in the background, the little Shiba, who is constantly doing a little dance or shaking. I'm not sure what it is. He's looking back at the painting, but he's really cute, he's really chubby, and it's my favorite part of it. You've got your characters relaxing on the beach and kind of hanging out, so it looks really nice. It's really nice aesthetically. It might be a little traumatic for people because it just reminds you of Punika all that much more, so use it if you want to. It has been my favorite in the entire game. I'm definitely going to purchase it if they allow us to do that on the North American region, but I think it looks quite nice. And lastly, this is the mileage shop preview. So essentially, in the Korean and Russian versions of the game, I'm not sure about Japan because I've never played there, but they have mileage. So it's essentially like cashback. The more royal crystals you spend on the cash shop, the more you get back of this currency up here. This is previewing those mileage rewards versions of the outfits as well, the swimsuits. My assumption is that we're just going to get this flat because we don't have that shop in NA. We don't have that system at all. So I'm assuming that this look of the outfit, we're just going to get plain the same way as all the other ones. I'm just assuming it's going to be in the cash shop just the way that the other swimsuits are. And this concludes the overview. I'm very, very excited for the patch. I cannot wait another week for this patch to come out. I'm super excited. There are some qualms that I have, like mainly the 1370 Express event, but overall, I'm very excited for this. There's a new class. There's Valtan, there's a summer event, there's skins. Finally, hallelujah, we're getting booba skins. I'm so excited for this patch. So I'm hoping that you are as well. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. You can come hang out in my stream as well and ask those questions as well. I stream every single day except for Sunday. And yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for all the continued support. Catch me on my Twitch, and until then, I'll see you later.